Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick little tune tutorial. This one is of the River of Trances, Strathspey. That's in my F major set on my album Leading Things Dram. Yeah, my tunes are copyrighted, but I don't mind if you play them for fun. And yeah, so I'll play it slowly and go through it. So that's the tune. A lot of rolls in this one. It's kind of a bit more Irishy, in my opinion. But you know, I wrote it, so. Yeah, so it starts off with a roll, actually. Can't do that very well. And I do the rolls with the third finger, so first finger on the G string, A, and then that's basically the roll. You just do it faster. And you don't actually want the C to be heard, so you do it fast. So that's the first phrase. I'm doing a hammer on there. So it's just basically, without the hammer on, it just sounds like this. Which is boring to me, so I had the hammer on. So the whole thing. And it's just basically with a G. Just standard F major chord, starting from the low A, and the only note that's not in the chords are the grace note notes, so you don't have to worry about that. Like, and the G technically is just, yeah, like a passing note. Okay, next phrase. So I'll play it a couple times. So I am starting with a chord, just G. And then I'm doing a hammer on here. And another hammer on. And I am kind of lifting a little bit. Not too much, but. So it's not really. But it's like kind of. Sorry. That kind of thing. Next phrase. So that one's kind of weird. That starts on a F natural, but it goes to a D, which is not in the F major chord. So, and then to a G, which is also not in the chord. And I'm doing either a hammer-on or a wiggle there. So you can do, which is lifting off this second finger briefly. So, but faster. And again, the lift thing. And there's the F finally. And then just passing D. Ending on open A. And you just stay there for the next phrase because it starts on first finger on the H string B flat. And I'm doing hammer-ons here. That one not, that's an open string. Here. To the G. And that's going down to the G string. B flat. And then first phrase again. So starting with the roll. Next phrase, this is the same as the second phrase again. So that's all those hammer-ons. G chord if I can get in tune. Always make sure you're doing innocent strings that they're, but they're in tune. That was important to say. Except here, the ending is different. Wiggle there. Come around to the F. And the weird D thing. And then, but you're not going to the B flat, you're going to back to the G. And I like to do fifth here. Just because that's the chord. So you don't have to do it with the chords, I just think it sounds nice, so that's how it would sound without the chords. But I add the A on the F. So I just keep my first and second finger close together on the G and D strings. So fifth here. F there. And that's the whole A part, so yeah, I'll play the whole A part again and see if I missed anything. And feel free to play along and practice. I'm trying to play these slowly. Yeah, you can let me know if I'm not slow enough. Yeah. thing all over again. Pretty simple. Yeah, there's this weird D things. Actually, that's a good way to practice it. You want to practice without ornaments. That phrase. So that's the third. That's just the third on the E string. And back to the first third. And then C and A. And then well, that part's there's a yeah, so that's basically what the tune is kind of like built on a little bit. I guess there's a lot of that in there. But so now we go to the B part, and that starts on a completely different, well, not a completely different chord. It's the relative minor of F major, which is D minor. So start on a big D chord, just open A and D, open D and A. And you don't have to do the chords, they sound pretty. So. And that's a waterfall, I think. Ornament, that's what it's called. So. That's the first phrase. So D major, D minor, sorry. Two notes there. Except we're still kind of in D minor. Because the next phrase is in D minor. So it's just basically two Ds, kind of just played that way. Then hammer on here to the F on the E string. Sorry, that's not the next phrase. The next phrase is. It's been a long day. But it's the same thing, you're just staying on the E string and not going up. That's actually to go to the ending phrase. So now you've already learned that part, and I'm keeping that in the video and not editing it out. Because I'm kidding. And that's a B flat. And a hammer on there. Okay, next phrase. Now I know where I am in the tune. So it's left G, so there's the G chord again. Just G on the third finger on the D string, and then open G. I do have to edit this, don't I? It's kind of a confusing tune. So B flat. Okay, next phrase. So I'm getting confused. So that starts, I'm doing a fifth there, the chord again, but it's just a G. Kind of a wiggle thing there. G and E. And then back to the first phrase, actually. And then the phrase that I already taught you. So that's going up to the F with a hammer on. And then ending phrase. That's back to an F major chord. So starting on open A. Here's a G though. Back to the F. And there's just that thing. And then the final ending phrase, which you already learned in the A part. So I'm not going to play it too many times. And then, yeah, and then you play that again. So I'm going to play through the whole B part because I think I'm getting confused. And if I've taught all the parts, that will be the end of the video. If I haven't, I'll teach you the parts that I didn't teach. Through is where it's different. After that little ending phrase thing, you're actually going back to the A part, where the first phrase of the A part. So you're here on the G string, and then back to the first phrase of the A part. If you can remember it. Second phrase. And then final ending phrase here. There we go. So that's up to an A. Highest note in the tune. We go. Hammer onto the F. And then back to the regular ending phrase. So yeah, that's the whole tune. Yeah, it's kind of confusing. I just have to kind of like play it. Once you like start playing it a lot, it's like easy to remember all the parts. But if you're just thinking part by part, I think that's the harder way of doing it because you just don't always like. It's easy to forget where you're in the tune. So yeah, that's the River of Trances, Strathspey. I don't know why I called it that. It's just a pretty name, I think. So yeah. Thanks for watching.